this county and our cities. And to uphold the laws, it is essential that we have a right-sized jail. And our letter reflects a willingness to collaborate, and we feel like we're far from collaboration right now. The mayors are feeling unheard. We had our mayor's meeting this morning at 8 a.m. and we disbanded 15 minutes in, so 5 of the 7 mayors could, on a moment's notice, come and be before you to say we are feeling unheard and this process feels uncollaborative. So please hear us. I think the county executive voiced his frustration in very strong terms today. You heard him say he's wanting to take away staff from supporting this project. He no longer wants his name associated with this project. Please hear the mayors, the county executive, and other electeds right now about this process and where we're at. And I would just say in particular, I haven't had time to thoughtfully and intentionally read through this revised resolution, but the bullet point that says, if the 50% floor cannot be met under current market conditions with a $205 million facility, the county, we request that the executive present the council an option that includes a model of a proportionally reduced jail footprint to balance the financial equation. That in particular is very problematic. That is a kind of uncertainty and lack of assurity that I can't speak for all of the mayors in the room right now, but signing an interlocal, well, we have big unknowns like that out there. That doesn't engender a lot of trust or confidence in where this is going to land. And I heard, as I sat here over a couple of hours last week, that you have an expectation that we are renegotiating the ILA in advance of some of the reports that are expected in October. And this bullet point in particular also, it seems like there could be a lot of ways and a lot of unknowns and how that could go. And that does not foster confidence in us signing on to the new ILA at this time. So I think there's more conversation that needs to be had. And it's, from my perspective right now, we are going to make a significant investment in new capital expenses to create an out-of-custody care center. That is such an important and needed part of the social infrastructure for Whatcom County, but that is a $34 million investment that was not part of the conversation before voters. That is a $34 million investment in capital that is an investment in services, and I don't necessarily see that reflection when we are having rigorous adherence to 50-50 being discussed, a lack of discussion about our commitment to voters about booking restrictions, and I don't see the $34 million capital investment really being counted in the services column right now as we're having this conversation play out. So I know there's a lot of people that want to talk. I will turn it over to other folks at this time, but that summarizes a little bit about where the conversation is at right now. And I just want to say, this is a decision before council that is going to require political courage. We are going to build a jail for some that is much too small. We're going to build a jail for others that is much too big. I know you have a very hard decision to make, but you are elected to make the hard decisions. And I invite you to tap the well of courage to move forward and think about what are the outcomes that this community needs right now, and a right-sized jail in addition to compassionate access to services is part of that.
St. Tanksley, Sheriff of Whatcom County, and as I read the resolution, it just occurred to me that the amount of years that we've been trying to get this done, and it seems to me that the goalpost changes week by week, year by year, now day by day. And if you listen to what the mayors have said, and I'm sure that you've listened to lots of other people, and there's a lot of competing thought processes here. And I just wonder about what meetings are happening, you know, during the day, during the night, to make everything change. And, you know, that's a constant change. And I will tell you that I've had the opportunity in the last month to attend training with sheriffs from around the country. And those sheriffs, many of those sheriffs are building jails. And I listened to them, and what I came away with is that their input has been valued in their jurisdictions. What I came away with is that I'm, as a sheriff, seemingly have been symbolically put on certain committees with not much strength in my voice. I do appreciate the executive's office with the different teams that I'm on through STV and the design team, and my voice is heard. But my voice isn't heard in here. And that's the truth of the matter. Because when I see these different changes, I've had not many conversations, some conversations, but not many conversations with many of the council members about this project. And it does bother me when I see if the 50% floor cannot be met under current market conditions with a $205 million facility, we request that county executive present the county council an option that includes a model of proportionality, reduced jail footprint. No one ever asked me about that at all. And I'm the sheriff, elected sheriff of Whatcom County. I'm the one charged with the operations of the jail. But the questions aren't coming to me. Some questions, but not these substantial questions about this. What does that even mean? I don't know what that paragraph really means. A council member earlier said to that paragraph, from what we are hearing. And I asked, hearing from who? Because it's not from me or my staff. Who are you hearing from? I'd also like to add that the last paragraph of this resolution says jail utilization management plan consistent with the county's commitments to diversion, behavioral health, treatment, reentry, and incarceration prevention and reduction. 100% for that. I've advocated for it. Then it says a report outlining the projected operational cost of the new jail. It's impossible for me to give you any projections on operational costs if I don't even know what size the jail is. I don't even know how many beds we're going to have. I don't even know the programming. I don't know the square footage. I don't know anything. So as you think about this, I'm telling you right now, I cannot give you any projection on operational cost. It would be like, think about this. It would be like building a house, and you want to know what the labor costs are of building the house. And then the builder says, how big a house do you want? And he says, I don't know. I don't know. Just give me a number. So as we're making these decisions, think about what we're asking for. Because I'm telling you now, I'm not going to give you an operational cost of something I have no idea what we're